Alrighty, welcome to our playoff series this evening. We're getting started a couple minutes late here, but everyone, I believe, is in the lobby. So we'll get things going very, very soon. Alright, everyone joined the lobby instantly, actually. We're going to take a quick look at the bracket before we get going here. Storm playoff bracket. Top match is being played tomorrow. Streamed by me, 7 PST, Saturday. The Abusant part versus Chicken Nuggets already happened earlier in the week. Domination by Chicken Nuggets. They move on to the semifinals. Tonight's series, of course, right here is TNC versus American Specialists to be decided B03. And in an hour from now or so, Gravesville will be streaming FWC versus Luxurian Sun. That's at 8 PST. So be sure to tune into that after the series and/or multi-box it. Going to head over to the map, big band screen for a minute. Yikes. Just setting the proper hats. Answering a few questions to the players. It's a handy dandy new tool by Weenus, by the way. This map pick selection thing, pretty awesome. There'll be some more updates to that, but using it for now. I guess I could use some more text to be more clear. That's okay. Let's make sure these teams are ready. Oh, someone's rating or hosting. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. We have a ready from TNC. Looks like everyone's ready. Let's move into game one. Alright, if you're just joining us, this is NGS Season 5. Storm Division Playoffs, team name change versus American Specialists. This is the first week of playoffs. Winner will go on to the semifinals after a best-of-3 series here tonight. TNC was the higher seeded team, as you may have seen on the map pick. They decided to grab Infernal Shrines. So first pick, of course, we'll go over to American Specialists. Unfortunately, I don't have a co-caster this evening. I switched games from the later series, being Casper Gravesville, to this one, which meant he was unavailable, so feels bad. But I got a chance to cast American Specialists in the wildcard weekend, which was pretty good. A lot of fun. Kerrigan banned here. Makes sense. Even before her rework, she was good on Infernal Shrines, though not commonly picked these days. Some teams would still run her, but not commonly. Now, of course, some might call her slightly overtuned. Probably, I don't think her base kit's overtuned, but I think a few of her talents are overtuned, especially the level 16. But, yeah, no Kerrigan here. Sergeant Hammer also being banned out. I believe that's an American Specialist special, if you will. If I recall, was banned out against them every game of the wild card. So no one was having anything to do with the Hammer on their team. Yeah, we could be in. Could be in for 3 games here, or just the 2, of course. Whoever is the first to 2. So game 1 is going to put whoever's the winner of game 1 is going to put a lot of pressure on, because the loser will then be 1 game away from being eliminated. They'll have to make a comeback round to have a shot at that 3rd game to bring it back. Genji ban here in the 2nd phase from American Specialists. Maybe by game 2 I can have a poll up. I kind of ran out of time to do all my production. I was going to have pre-game stats and everything too, but I only finished half of it for TNC, so I wasn't going to just show their stats and not show American Specialists. That seemed chintzy. Tychus ban here from from TNC. Interesting. Yeah, I didn't actually get a look at American Specialist top picks. If I recall, for TNC, they run a lot of Jaina, Murden, Johanna, Raynor, high pick, high win. So there's a Diablo. Interesting. What's interesting to me is what this 2nd pick Tychus is. It's unusual to see Tychus banned before. He's usually banned more in the later phase. Of course, prior to 3 bans, this ban would have been the later phase, but now of course it's the 3rd ban. So Tychus would have been pretty nice against this Diablo for TNC, but not going to be here. They'll opt for the Tyrande and Cassia. Cassia. Interesting. The next 2 picks here from American Specialists will show a lot of how they want to play these fights, other than the obvious Diablo, of course. But how exactly they want to follow up this Diablo or add additional control or dive, we'll see what they grab. Phoenix white main. Pretty solid trio. Good wave clear, good aggro, good defense. No notable weakness in this opener here from American Specialists. Pretty nice. That being said, Tychus, of course, acts as a... he's a little bit like Alex Straza with Dragon Queen with his Odin. It's not necessarily as strong, but it can be, or close to it. If you use Odin at the right time, you can bully a team off a point. Most teams don't want to fight into it, so it's hard to deal with. Can help turn the fight, zone them off the point, so... Tychus also has more wave clear than most people probably think he does, or give him credit for, between Overkill and Grenade. He can clear quite easily, which is pretty nice here on the rotate map and on the shrines, and of course the Odin factors. So between all that, plus perhaps American Specialists liking the hero, we're seeing a ban on it here earlier, but the rest of the bans were out. We had a Kale ban. Makes a lot of sense. You don't want a mage, like a flexible mage, as it were, following up this Phoenix Diablo. Kilthos, pretty easy to combo with a lift or living bombs, etc. Johanna ban makes sense. TNC waited. This was obvious. Most likely ban against them. This is the Murden, but this is a much more rotation heavy map, so the Murden makes, Johanna makes more sense. They'll go for Diva and Ubrak, so this should be their offlaner and main tank. This is very interesting because Cassia is a fairly short-ranged hero. Ubrak stuns also take a bit of time to land. Curious to see how well they can combo with this Tyrande. Diva also tends to boot people around, so they're going to have to watch out for that. Try not to arrow someone as they're getting booped by the Diva. Last 2 picks here for American Specialists. They're going to get another range damage and an offlaner. It'll be Mephisto and Dahaka. I like this a lot. 2 Primevals on 1 team. The Diablo fan of me likes that, but no, they actually work well together in general. Mephisto can just add a lot of layered pressure through his kit and trait cooldown reduction, etc., while Diablo Dahaka cause havoc, and Phoenix does his thing. So what do TNC need? More damage, I think. Yeah.
With every death comes honor. With honor, redemption.
I don't know if we can say anyone won the draft outright, though I think American Specialist is a little more straightforward, more meta, if you will. That doesn't make it better, because it all comes down to who plays better, not just the on-paper draft. I think the draft could be potentially a little clunky from TNC, but they're a top Storm team here. I believe second place, or it's first. I'm unsure on how the tournament. The standings are mucked up because it's by win percentage, not points. But the only metric I have is by points. Oops, what was that? Make sure we're all right. Sorry, I just heard a weird noise I've never heard before. Wanted to make sure my OBS wasn't dying or something. So I'm going to give the ease of execution over to American Specialists. But there was quite a bit of lockdown available for the side of TNC as well. We have this Tron Arrow, Hanzo later, Dragon Arrow. Nubrak has 2 stuns, plus the web factor. Can web out this white main, or even the Diablo or something. Make a run at the team. We'll see what they do as we get into it. Game 1 in this best of 3 series between Team Name Change and American Specialist. In the blue corner will be Team Name Change, Nem Avenger on the Diva, Hunter CJ on the Anubrak, Netball 11 will be on the Hanzo, and Metball 11 will be on the Cassia, and Satat will be on the Tyrande in the red corner. It's going to be American Specialist, Yikes Harder on the Phoenix, My Mom is Cool on Diablo, Chipmunkus will be on the white main. Any Problem will be on the Mephisto. And who am I missing? Jinsu85 will be on the Dahaka. Owl out here. American Specialist running down mid. Don't know how to dodge that owl. Feels bad, man. Q Quest for the Mephisto. Feast on Fear for Diablo. Been seeing this more and more over Devils 2. Tissue Regen, of course, for Dahaka. This will be really nice. Tyrande can cleanse the wallbangs from Diablo and tongue grabs as well from Dahaka. This will be really big over the points. I would like to see American Specialists try and bully this rotation with this Diablo, Phoenix, Mephisto, white main. We'll see if they do. The defense is pretty decent from TNC though, because they have a lot of peel, a lot of stuns. Mephisto is already bullying though, stacking up that Q. Top lane matchup actually seems to be going the way of Diva, interestingly enough. I haven't seen this matchup anytime recently, but imagine she can largely kite the Dahaka as we see here. Just uses the thrusters to get out. Dealing a lot of damage. Camp's being taken by both teams, bottom lane. So no invades, no one's trying to get the upper hand outright. Phoenix is actually tanking this camp, gonna take some damage, but not too much. Both camps up, see if one team pushes. Of course Diablo also rotating to stack his souls. Wants to get as many as he can before the first engage. No team really even posturing for any sort of kill right now. They're just content to rotate. We'll see which side makes the move first. Both of them have the potential. You know, this Nubrak Tyrande has a lot of lockdown. Hanzo follow-up. Cassia. I mentioned she was short range. She's going to have to play a little closer to the front line, I feel. And we see her all the way up here with a Nubrak. Hanzo causing some damage bottom. We'll be alright. Might have a clash here. Nope. Safe rotation. Mech was actually killed by Dahaka top lane. Just saw that on the kill feed. Top lane Shrine. Interested to see if American Specialist will rotate Dahaka somewhere else. Or not. Depends on how hard they want to fight this. Diablo goes in on the Hanzo. First real aggression we're seeing here out of American Specialists. Force out the natural agi. Phoenix was contemplating going for this bottom siege camp, but realizes maybe there's not enough time. They're going to be late to this objective. But that being said, Metball here on Cassia. Not looking too healthy, trying to take this Shaman camp alone. Gets help from the Tyrande. Nice timing though. They just stalled, so better value play here by TNC. We'll have the Shaman camp pushing in, whereas American Specialist didn't get anything in particular. Here we go, over the fight. Staying power of American Specialist is theoretically higher this Diablo, Dahaka, and White Mane in terms of just pure health. Nice stun here. There's a tongue grab out onto the Anubarak. Diablo overpowers the Cassia. Not going to do too much. Nem Avenger here in the point, chasing the Dibbles. Any problem up here on the front lines with those piercing missiles. American Specialists so far have bullied TNC up the point, which is pretty much what I expected at this stage. Their whole team's actually rather squishy if you think about it. Though they have some ways to be temporarily not squishy. Cassia with their armor, Anubarak with his W, for example, Diva with their mech. But outside of that, you can't really stand their ground too much if American Specialists bully them. They need to maybe get a combo with a nice arrow into a Hunter's Mark. Being said, American Specialist is really playing in the lane, not on the point, so skulls are getting pretty decent. Stun you into Daki might just go on Uwe Burrows, gets the Essence. Hunter CJ though super low in this Anubarak. Phoenix trying to come in to clean up. Metball might be in trouble. Mephisto just goes over the wall Genji style. He's not going to live, but it will pay off. If they clean up 2 kills, this will also feed the Diablo souls, mind you. Big plays by Mephisto. Ooh, one Mega Man fan, thank you for the raid. Oh, Diva! Getting too cocky, thought he had the mech sap there. There is a small cast time. It can also be interrupted. For all you Diva players slash aspiring Diva players out there. Mech shenanigans are good. It's the best way to be obnoxious with the hero, in a good way. But you mistime it, you can pay with your life. First Punisher, and here's the Dahaka rotation bottom I thought might occur at some point. American Specialist, excuse me. Yeah, TNC getting pushed in here by this Punisher. American Specialists do commit 4 up here, which is fine. They'll look to clean up this tower, maybe the well at best. See if these arcane lasers can clean up the well or not. Yeah, they won't for now. Minions, though, clean up the tower. Nice full level lead here. 4 American Specialists. They're trying to go on Nem, ruin his boosters. I'm okay. So to say, I'm not sure he wants to boost that way, but that is where his team was. Mephisto's actually in a lot of trouble. Already used his spirit. Dahaka's bottom, by the way, so this is a 5v4. Phoenix pressuring though on Satat. And here's the white main sustain we're just seeing. And of course, the sheer cooldown reduction of Mephisto just bullying TNC away here. 1 to 4, 8 to 9. 6 minutes in, Dahaka takes the bottom camp. Possible invade here from American Specialist. Anubarak throws in, gets a nice stun. Cleanse though from the white main, gonna free the Phoenix. Here is Big Bad Mephisto though. That was a 4-man skull missile. Oof. Splash damage is real between this Phoenix and this Mephisto. Bullying TNC away. We'll see what they can do once they get their level 10s. I feel like they're gonna rely on those a lot. Dragon Arrow, Web, Shadow Stalk, etc. Curious to see if they go with the Valkyrie on this Cassia or not. It's been really popular lately, but I'm not sure they can kill a hero quick enough off of it unless it's a squishy. These heroes aren't very squishy, and some of them are pretty mobile too. Diablo's in, trying to get the elusive bug. He, however, will simply burrow another round. Camp was already picked up as well, so no real loss. What's picked up is the ultimate Scarlet Aegis, Salvo, Lightning Breath, Isolation, and what is it? Something Souls. For some reason I can't remember the name. Consume Souls. I was thinking Curse Souls for some reason. Sea Souls, of course, by the Mephisto. So they've been getting. We saw how low some of these heroes were getting on TNC already, repeatedly in the last top skirmish. So if Mephisto, if they can manage to get him that low again, and land that Consume Souls, there's gonna be some multi-kills for this Mephisto on any problem. Apparently the solution to any problem is Mephisto so far for American Specialist. There are the 10s though, so it is the Ball Lightning, as I thought. The Valkyrie didn't see the value, and it's actually the Starfall. I thought they might do that. I mentioned Shadowstock earlier, but realistically they have damage problems, not necessarily healing problems, though in a sense they have both. As I mentioned, a little bit squishy draft on the side of TNC versus some of these just super tanks slash tanks. Diablo, Dahaka, multiple health bars on the Dahaka. Diablo, of course, fully stacked on Souls, has significant amount of HP. Dahaka's top lane, so again, TNC managed to get out of camp just before an objective, something American Specialists haven't been doing Their posturing has paid off on the last shrine. Will it pay off here? Where Steve actually went bunny hop, by the way. So we'll see what they can do with that. Starfall, bunny hop, dragon arrow. They're going in here onto the white main, getting a lot of damage off on her. But speaking of damage, Tyrande just gets destroyed by Big Bad Diablo. He's getting, he might just go down here. This will be the souls, by the way. Diablo falls, but speaking of falling, it's a 3-for-1 and Diablo's quick rigging. Phoenix coming in, trying to clean up on Cassia. Hunter CJ might just pay for his life. No, he'll burrow out in time. So a 3-for-1, and that was a quick res. Diablo getting 10 souls off a, you can actually gain souls while you're dead, as long as there's a takedown. Rather convenient. I think I've gained up to 30 or 40 before, even though I died in a fight. Interesting how that works. So of course this objective will be going over to American Specialists, supposedly, but no. TNC are back here to fight, but oof. Cassia getting gone on, will be quickly healed. They're trying to clean up, they don't have their Dahaka, by the way. Phoenix nearly goes down. Yikes, peeling out. Diablo trying to secure these last few souls. A little surprised to see American Specialists contesting this hard, considering they're also about to be down 13. This doesn't seem like the best use of their time, realistically. I think they were looking for a pick, but even if they get the one pick, Valk, Diva Bomb, and 2 on team. Is that what happened? I'm not really... There was like 3 different parts of that fight going on all at once in different spots on the screen, so I couldn't cast it all. But I knew they went on the Diva right up front. Going on, Hunter CJ getting gone onto here, gets stunned. There's Lightning Breath into Salvo. A little delayed though, slightly off the mark. If they were going to bother using those ults, they should have used them a second or two sooner. They will secure this fort, though I think they had it anyway, so a little over here by American Specialists. They are technically the underdogs on paper in terms of their standings. But they're looking good here. But, you know, TNC straps, a little strange. And Nubrak goes in hard. This is his burrow. He has no way to get out, by the way. Pretty sure the Nubrak might just die, but there's a web out. Here's the Diva Bunny Hop. See what they can get done. There is the White Moon Scarlet Aegis, however. And the Beetle is about to go down, including, here's the Consumed Souls. I believe Tyrande is also going to die from this. Indeed, she will multi-kill as predicted. Phoenix may be able to clean up the Hanzo. No, he gets the natural Agi over the wall. Can they find Nem Avenger? They do. Poor Diva. One versus the world. Can't handle it. Down she goes. Overwatch cinematic. This is not. Let's look at some numbers here. American Specialist clean in house. TNC's shown a little better macro in a few moments, like getting these bruiser camps before the objectives. But they picked a really difficult draft for themselves. I mentioned it earlier. I had concerns about it maybe being a little clunky, a little squishy. And it's showing here 2 to 10 on the kill score. And one of those kills was Mephisto jumping over a wall, like Genji style. They're about 2.5 levels behind as well. They're only down 1 fort, which is really interesting, considering how far behind they are otherwise. But most of this XP is coming in through kills, rather than through structural advantages. Dahaga taking top bruiser. American Specialists really should just be looking for 16 here, but it seems like they're looking for a fight in this Tyrande. That was actually a point-blank Dragon Arrow on to My Mom is cool. They're trying to CC him here, but he'll rip a quick Lightning Breath for Unstoppable. Let's see if he can get out of this one. White Moon with Scarlet Aegis, that should secure it. Ball Lightning nearly takes him out, though. White Moon trying to save him while simultaneously killing him. That Ball Lightning procs. Pisto coming in. 16 is just around the corner. Daga will have it top in a moment. Nice splash from the Phoenix. Hanzo's doing decent damage, so is Cassia. You see the numbers are a bit higher here for American Specialist. So look to peel top. American Specialists they seem like they're not sure whether they want to try and gank bottom or pressure middle. They're not particularly doing either, considering there was a nice combo here onto Met Ball, and Hanzo is just disintegrated by Diablo. Big Red, plus Big Bad Mephisto here. Primeval brothers working together to be the Goon Squad. Taking out the Hanzo. I didn't actually notice this Diablo 4 and 7. Even the armor on Q and the Malevolence. Interesting. Okay. I dig it. He is getting the wall bangs around these points, especially he's going out on these squishy targets, this Tyrande, this Hanzo, Diva, and non-mech form. Patience pays off. They do get a kill. I feel like they could have done a little more while they were posturing down there. They seem to maybe waste a little bit of time in this area waiting to do something, but that's okay. They're still ahead. But they will want to stay ahead. 16's, of course, a decent power spike. Hanzo and Cassia scale pretty well as the game goes on. Get some nice talents. Cassia, especially 13 and 16, can get some really nice Q talents if she wants on her Lightning Bolt. We will see. I'm curious to see if TNC will bother contesting this. Right now, it looks like they're not. They were thinking about it maybe for a moment, but they decided to mount up, go bottom. They don't really have anywhere to go because of this shrine being here. They can't safely push top or middle without getting jumped, which means the only thing they have is to go bottom. Yeah, I was a little late in showing 13 talents. I didn't show them till 16. Acid Drench Mandibles. You can see they're... This feels, again, I use the word clunky. You know, they're talenting for damage rather than just drafting damage. We see, you know, Acid Drench Mandibles. We have Starfall, Ball Lightning, which is still fairly normal, but you're supplementing, you know, that's what the talent system's for, supplement what you don't have, but an already squishy team basically forced to pick damage talents because they didn't draft necessarily enough damage to kill these heroes. Mid Punisher moving in here, 16 though, is achieved for TNC, by the way. Punisher comes in, roots out on the Anubrak, see if there's any follow-up. Now they'll have to clean up these walls and gates first. Looks like this Punisher won't get a keep. It wasn't any great positioning for Diablo to go in either. But they will open up middle for some other time or some other push. Is that a Dragon Arrow? It is! It's gonna miss on everyone though, it feels bad, man. Barely misses the Phoenix. I mean, the Phoenix was too far out for anything to happen. Mephisto also conversely finished his Q quest at some point. I wasn't sure if they're going in here. Phoenix is a little split. Could be a moment for American Special, excuse me, for TNC. They do need to make these plays. They are running out of time. You know, they're 2 levels behind now. It was 2.5 a bit ago, but so they've stabilized a little bit, but not enough. Only given up 1 kill since then, but here's the invade from American Specialist. There's no Diva, by the way. Combos out onto the Anubrak. He should be able to burrow out of this, unless he, okay, no, he just burrows in. Hanzo's dead, by the way. Here's a fat Diva bomb. See what they can do with this. It does just kind of tickles. Phoenix cleans up the Anubrak. Nemabenger on the run here. Diablo, though, looking for the grab. Nice arrow from Satat to stall, but Nem is out of options. Will have the emergency shielding for a moment. Uses the bunny hop. A sick tongue grab by Jinsu, though. Cleans up Nem. See what they do with this. Maybe just go steal middle for push middle keep. Looks like what they're gonna do. It's already opened up. They were bottom lane, but it makes sense to push here. We're seeing these damage from Hanzo, but it's just more like incidental poke damage. It's not necessarily value damage or meaningful damage that can translate into kills or pressure. It's just him throwing out a lot of scatter arrows and general poke. Mid keep here taken from American Specialists. 20 just around the corner. So they secure now almost a 3-level lead after cleaning up 2 more kills bottom. Top 4, of course, also about to go down. Next Punisher at least is in a lane where there's a keep. But they are down 3 levels. This is a really difficult time of the game to be down. We get the upgraded Isolation Splash. They actually Hellstorm out of Diablo. They're just going to run it down a lane and try and burn down a keeper core. What else do we get? Mimic, of course, from Mephisto. This lets him do ridiculous things with his Shade and Lightning. Dahaka's been the camp master this game. Phoenix still deciding what he wants. White Man, of course, going the upgraded Scarlet Crusade. Can also make her team unstoppable, which is pretty insane versus some of the CC, which hasn't even slowed them down already, but it's stalled them in some moments. Tronda, for example, has landed 16 out of 20 arrows since level 4. Just keep owling this Dahaka. Nice map pressure from American Specialist at this point, though. I don't know if I'd call it criticize. I just pointed out earlier in the game they weren't necessarily grabbing camps, but when in their downtime, Fire Standee can't handle it. Certain browsers let you turn it down. I think usually Firefox, maybe Safari, you can actually choose lower res. Some browsers do auto res. I can't actually remember which ones because I've had the same issue before on my whatever when I'm on a lower internet connection. Nice top lane push here from TNC, but they're just so far behind. What do they do? And I like this move by American Specialist. They're opening up the way for the Punisher, so it's absolutely just runs right to this keep. And they're actually under attack middle, so Deepest Force. Yeah, I was about to say Dahaka shouldn't even be here. He should just join his team bottom, and they should just go. They're gonna leave Phoenix some point to clean it up. 20's just nowhere in sight. This is very likely game for American Specialists over Team C, but we'll see if they can handle, mount some sort of last ditch defense with their abilities. They do have the ball lightning, the bunny hop, the web, the dragon arrow, the starfall. Like, if they can manage to combo it all perfectly, they should be able to get a kill. But this white main with Scarlet Aegis, a lot of the kills burst, and she's pretty darn effective at removing burst damage. Keep will fall here. Visto's in. Diva forced to run. Web out on Diablo. They're gonna have to make the move and make it now. Stun out here on the Phoenix. There's the dragon arrow as well. Scarlet Aegis was popped though, absorbing a lot of damage. Just the health bars aren't dropping as much as they'd like. Phoenix getting a lot of heals. American Specialist being forced to run. Diva taken down. Here's the Consume Souls! Then it's going to consume multiple lives along with Diablo. Diablo also consuming lives. I mean, scan out here from Eggs Harder. Pretty convincing win by American Specialist. I want to say it's draft, and TNC just drafted something a little goofy. Maybe, I don't know why. Because it is a best of 3 and they technically can't afford to lose a round. And, it's okay. It just means they can't lose game 2. I expect them to go for something more functional round 2 for sure. Definitely. They should. At least they should. If they don't, they're just out of this series because American Specialist looking pretty good. Pretty clean here. All the kills on Diablo and Mephisto. Alright, we're going to go to a short break, and we'll be back for game number 2. getting in between our way here. Actually, need to go back to the waiting screen real quick. Update the score. There we go. All players in the lobby. Looks like everyone's ready. From the side of American Specialists, anyway. Not ready yet from TNC. Already. Yeah, game one just felt a lot like draft things for TNC because I've seen them play, just as well as American Specialists just did. Really clean, coordinated in their fights. Strong drafts, strong ults, getting the picks. They just really dug themselves in the hole with that draft. Just too clunky. Too many different ideas. Didn't really coalesce into anything. Into one idea they could win the game with, at least against the draft that American Specialists had anyway. I gotta say the Mephisto was pretty beast mode. The Haka was used well. Diablo only died once, and that was a nice use of his soul burn to just res. Teams are ready though, so we'll be able to get to it. So we get started onto Towers of Doom. TNC, considering they lost the first game, they get to choose first pick or map pick, is how the way that the playoffs go. Whoever loses the series, loses the game, I mean. So they went with map pick again. So they picked Infernal, picked a really strange draft. They picked Towers of Doom. Let's hope they have a more cohesive plan here, as we were just discussing. American Specialists, of course, get that first pick, first ban. We'll see what they do. So game one, going over to American Specialists there, as we just saw on the screen. Over on Infernal Shrines, Abathur ban pretty quickly, makes sense. Something you don't typically see in the lower divs. Abathur bans, that's also true in things like Hero League or Team League. It's fairly true also in NGS. Teams just don't use the hero much other than the occasional player/players who do. But a lot more common here in Storm. I believe Nem Avenger plays a pretty mean Abathur, so it does get banned out here. Nem Avenger being the offlane player for TNC. At least I've seen him play it pretty well a couple times. Kerrigan banned out here again, so no Kerrigan tonight it seems. And of course the Hammer banned out, and that's to be expected. I feel like this Diablo Mephisto were pretty troublesome. White main as well, pretty troublesome. She just the support player on American Specialist, forget the name exactly, but just played white main pretty much to perfection. Never really had a position, absorbed all the burst with Scarlet Aegis, just spamming that Zeal on her teammates. There's the Diablo ban. I did expect a Diablo or Mephisto ban. Of the two, Diablo makes more sense considering he's leading the frontline charge and doing all these wall stuns and lightning breath nonsense they don't want to deal with, so Mephisto was very well played, but he is still the follow-up, so it makes more sense to ban out the initiation, generally speaking. Genji here, though, grabbed very quickly from American Specialists. Last time that was banned, I believe, by TNC. But of course, after that Diablo performance, forced to ban him out here. Excuse me. They really like this Tyrande. They first picked it last time, but I have to say it was really weak. No hate on Satat, who was playing it for TNC, but, you know, I feel like when you pick a Tyrande, even though, you know, after rework she's more of a healer, you still need to pick around Tyrande. You need to opt for some sort of single target blow up or maybe short range dive, something to enable her Lunar Blade, her Lunar Flare, and her Hunter's Mark. If you're not doing that, it just doesn't. There's no reason to pick the hero if you're not going to leverage the utility in her kit through these skills. You know, this easy stun follow up, this damage amplification. You know, use of revision is always nice. You know, Owl Poke, Towers of Doom can cancel a shrine channel across the map, get you there in time, blah blah blah. But Muradin white main Genji, so a lot of aggro out here again, along with defense for American Specialists. Seems to be a theme. Dahaka snagged, though, for TNC. We saw it played pretty well last game by American Specialists on Infernal Shrines. It should get a little more value here with the global, considering the fights over the altars. There's the Mephisto ban. Super respect coming out here from TNC. I have to say, yeah, those Primevals did a number on him last game. Traumatizing stuff, not going to have it. We'll see what the ban here is. Maybe a main tank or backline damage. Not sure what they'll ban out. It'll be the backline, not the Hanzo. Also, not particularly, didn't look too great last game, but again, the Hanzo, the Tyrande, etc. were not put in a position to succeed either. And I think the Hanzo does gain more value on a map like Towers of Doom, if only because there's more choke points and walls typically around the fight areas versus Infernal Shrines, which can be a little more open. They go for the Anubrak again. My goodness. So no Johanna here for them, even though it's available. And a Rainer. Okay, I like this. I like the Rainer. I believe they have 4 games on Rainer from TNC, all wins. I must have missed stats on like Tyrande and Ubrak. Maybe they're in the list and I didn't see it, or it's something they've just been playing since playoffs or like post regular NGS season, sort of hiding strats. I don't think it was in their stats and Stats of the Storm. I'll have to double check after this game. Arthas from American Specialists and what they need more damage. There's the Tychus. Okay. Pretty spicy. Tychus Arthas, Muradin Whiteman Genji against Valeria, Rainer, and Ubrak Dahaka Tyrande. So this makes more sense for TNC. We're going to have this lockdown from Ubrak, followed up by Valeria, or vice versa. Valeria opens and Ubrak follows, then the Tyrande arrow on whichever. And then this Rainer just laying in the damage with that Executioner. Those Executioner procs. So, more smooth. Again, these targets are a little hard to kill. Arthas, Muradin, pretty tanky. Tychus can talent to be fairly tanky or try and evade some things through his dash. Genji, of course, hard to lock down. Rainer, though, pretty nice against Genji. Tends to be able to chunk him down pretty decently. Just through auto attack clicks. Especially if one of them is to give him the pepper. Gonna hurt the Genji unless he has that deflect available, but he doesn't want to burn it early just against the Rainer. So I like the Rainer here. I think it's really good against the Genji. Other than the Rainer, nothing necessarily awesome, unless of course Valera can open on the Genji with a silence or a stun, depending, whatever makes more sense. I feel like the silence would, considering their stun follow-up. But we'll see what they opt to do here in this game 2 in this best of 3 series. So this is match point for American Specialist, and it is 1 game away from being out of NGS Season 5 playoffs for TNC here in Storm Div. Once again in the blue corner, team name change, Metball 11 on the Rainer, Hunter CJ on the Anubrak, Netball 11 will be in the Valera, Nemavenger on the Dahaka, doing some dances, Satat here in the Tyrande. American Specialist victors of game 1 will be Jinsu 85 on the Arthas, Yikes Harder on the Tychus, Chip Mungus, I believe, on the White Mane, My Mama's Cool on the Muradin, and Any Problem on the Genji. Owl again. They didn't learn from game 1. Regen Master on Dahaka makes sense. Of course, the Ace in the Hole. They have the stun removal, which will be pretty key here against this Muradin Arthas. Let's Valera open with Crippling Poison. I haven't played her in so long, I forget her best builds or meta builds or whatever, but I know she tends to combo her talents over time. I like this by Netball though, looking to just stall or scout the rotation. Invis heroes do turn invis when you stand still for 1.5, 2 seconds. Silence here in the Muradin. They opened a lot of damage. They land that arrow. They get a lot more damage out on him. It may not matter, but it could force him even into an early tap possibly, just to get out here sooner. Any other particular talents? Block on Arthas. They're the better blocks in the game. Perfect Storm on Muradin. No real reason to block, I suppose, other than versus Raynor, the block is nice, but doesn't opt for it. Gonna go for the Storm damage, which of course, when you get the piercing bolts, can really start to ramp up. So Valeria is basically gonna look to control the rotation plus soak in the bushes. I like this by Nem. Genji scouts out this camp though. We'll see if American Specialists want to invade. They get a stun on the Tyrande, not really where we want to be standing, which is squishy. It's possible invades, and Hunter CJ getting burned here is going to have to be forced out, and they just go in and clean him up. Genji here with the initiation. Nice arrow out. Satat, though, in trouble. This Genji just looking to clean up house. Indeed, they will. Any problem, once again, solution. First blood, of course, going the way of American Specialists, including Second Blood, and they steal the camp. That was just incredibly ambitious by TNC. They kept doing that even though Genji scouted them out. Tyrande's standing in the wrong place. Nubrak doesn't really burrow to safety necessarily. See Nem Avenger here pressured by any problem. Forced out of his scouting hijinks. We might see a counter invade here. Round 2 though, see what happens. Just some nice stuns on the Muradin, and Nubrak burrows up, chipping any problem. I really want to be. A fat arrow, in addition to a Valeria Stallions, will clean up the white main. And now it's American Specialists who are forced to give up their camp. They only give up 1 kill, not 2, but it's still pretty good. Just mistakes were made there by American Specialists. They had their white main Genji up here, completely separated from the team, trying to run down the join. They get intercepted. Tychus also started that camp alone, so both teams kind of mucking up their camps. And Nubrak going in on the Tychus may just grab this kill. There's a stun. There's the damage amp. Here we go. You know, this is what I like to see from TNC. They picked this Tyrande. You heard me criticize them, rightly so, for not leveraging, you know, that sort of kill potential. And here we go. They're using it. 2-2. Making this series competitive, showing some life here, and they'll need to keep showing some more. We'll trade towers top with the Arthas and the Dahaka. Of course, the Dahaka can burrow in. Tychus, of course, got killed, so he's on the way. Valeria's going to stall the Arthas. Muradin goes in. Here's the Dahaka. Muradin in a lot of trouble, just gets cleaned up here. Netball 11 almost goes down on the Valeria. Not going to be enough, though. Arthas walking forward. Raynor's still pretty healthy. I'm not sure they want to do this. Whiteman isn't very healthy either. Here comes a big fat stun onto the Arthas. Should be able to walk this off. American Specialists really seem to want to stall this, though. Netball almost has the channel. See if they can get a... they do. And I think Jinsu's just going to die for this. Indeed he does. Too greedy from American Specialist. It is just one altar. They don't have to fight to the death repeatedly over it this stage of the game. A little surprised to see them not get them up sooner, and here we do have a pause. Player Raynor has left the game. He's back? I didn't see that. Wow. That was fast. Alright, very quick player disconnect. TNC is back. They're up 4-2, 6.5-6 on the experience. And they're up 4 points, and Dower Shot's already looking much better for them here. Mostly capitalizing on some misplays from American Specialists. First on the camp, then there at the bottom lane, just forcing the issue too hard. Tychus, of course, got picked off before that bottom shrine fight even really started. Camp should be up soon, 30 seconds or something? Yeah, 30 seconds. Bottom siege. Sappers out here in the bottom lane for TNC. Most important lane, of course, Arthas might be in a little trouble here. Gets silenced. They tongue drag him back. Now they just keep him in place, looking to body block him. He could get the root out though, should be able to walk this off. Theoretically, he might not have the death coil though. Looks like he's alright. Good try though by Dahaka and Valera. Mutilate. Okay, round 3. It's in the rhythm for Tychus. I'm not sure that makes sense. In fact, I don't think that makes any sense. You have a Genji finisher hero. You want to get people low. I'm really not sure what the reason for in the rhythm is. I'm actually not sure. And I feel like this is potentially a really big problem from American Specialists. A big mistake. Could be a big mistake. And possibly lead to being unable to secure kills later. We'll see how it goes. Usually you take this if you're going laser.
Be swift.
I can't imagine you take laser.
Do not let the
We'll see.
keep
Stun it here
us
now. This Dahaka, of course, grabs the camp top. Can always burrow in, so he'll pressure top. Then show up. Valera coming in the back lines. I do like how American Specialists are postured. Won't be able to get completely flanked, but here comes the Dahaka and the Anubrak. Nice disengage by the Tychus. Melting the Anubrak for the moment. Arthas, though, getting jagged. They actually move him out of the arrow. May not matter, though. It looks like he might fall. No, he's alright for now. Walks it off. They actually channeled the bottom one in the meantime. I'm not exactly sure what hero. Heal out here from the white main. There's the Clemency. Dahaka going in. He's falling very low. We're going to have to walk it off on them. Tychus, though, cut out alone, will go down here. Playing away from his team, not really what you want to do. Big stuns by a Nubrak. Tongue grab onto the Arthas. Probably will also fall. The damage mark. Valera looking to clean up. Gets the backline kill. They clean up Raynor. Hunter CJ pretty low here. Stun into Genji. 2 for 1. This is a 4v3 right now, though. Murden's already bailing. But TNC not capping this, by the way. A little surprised to see how far they ran away. And this will give time for American Specialist to contest. Oh, a nice Stormbolt at the last moment. Nem has no mana, by the way. So even though he's here, he can't really do anything per se. Murden trying to get in for this channel will burn the Dwarf launch, but he's going to need a lot of damage for this. Team's here, though. Follow up. As the Savage fights continue over the shrines. Looks like they're just going to give this one up. Focus on level 10 for American Specialists. Not going to make the same mistake American Specialists did. Force the issue too hard. Give up 1 or more kills, and they don't need to. There's better things to do on the map, like get this level 10 first. And get their sapper camp, etc., etc. Look to the future. Genji, top on those hero damage charts for American Specialist. Raynor for TNC. Skullcracker for the Murden, so who's going to interrupt some people, those mini stuns. Valera working our way down. 10 is here's the web, the Starfall again, isolation. I believe that's Smoke Bomb from Valera. Indeed it is. Hyperion from the Raynor. Interesting. So looking to zone siege necessarily versus the single target burst. A little questionable. I love Hyperion. It's a great talent. I'm not sure it's the best option here on this map. But we'll see. It can provide a lot of fight zoning. They can force people to stay in it fairly well between the Valera, the Anubrak, the Dahaka, Tyrande herself with the arrow. So they can force American Specialists to fight into the Hyperion, plus the rest of their fight damage. It'll look pretty good. Opening stuns here, and the Genji gets the cleanse, though. Should be okay. Lunar Flare will miss. Tensor also here. Is that a dragon? Is that just straight Dragon Blade? He did go laser, so I was right. Okay, this is Dragon Blade. Some interesting ults here. Laser and Dragon Blade. Here they go. Of course, there's the Avatar. Scully Aegis, Army of the Dead. Murden will pop the Avatar. Not going to do him too much. This is a web on the Genji. American Specialist falling apart here. Arthas tongue grab back in. He's under army for now, but how long can he live? Not very long as it stands out. Here comes Hyperion as well, just to throw in some extra damage on the chip. A little overeager from the Raynor. Perhaps could have saved it, pushing this bottom fort versus ripping it there, but very nice fight. Will net them 2 more kills. Unless I missed one. I think it was 2. Yeah, it was 2. 2 more kills for American Specialist for TNC. Just really strange positioning by American Specialists. They just kind of run in, let themselves get group stunned, Starfall. I'm actually surprised that Hyperion didn't come out sooner during that Starfall, for example. They're just not really playing to their draft strengths here, and I really question these talent choices by Tychus. In the rhythm, in Drac and Drill, Laser Drill, it's not going to cost them the game, but it might cost them the game. Just his ability to bully a single target plus take control of an area with Odin. You know, get somebody low with bigger they are and then clean them up with Genji in a stun or two. Seems pretty easy. Odin, of course, really nice around these shrine fights. Also gives him armor against Valera, etc. Anyway, he doesn't have it, so things are what they are. See what they can do here. Another camp invade, possibly, by American Specialists. Look at it up. 13 is imminent from TNC. So they were looking for a play before that. It was the right move. Not going to give it up. They positioned better this time. Last time this Tyrande was over here or something silly. Not this time. TNC learning from the mistakes. Netball, I incorrectly called Nem Avenger on this hero earlier. Netball, scouting here. Once again, scouting, such looking to stall this rotation. Probably will do it again, hover for the Arthas, unless they're just going to straight give this up. They aren't 13, speaking of 13s, we'll have a look. They're posturing. Looks like they're also converging when they need XP, and they're letting this Arthas out of top lane. Doesn't really seem like the right move if they're just trying to gain XP. They're not going to defend this bottom necessarily. Not against... No, they might. Hyperion's up, so if they committed with Hyperion and a creep wave, probably get it. Cleanse on the Muradin. Laser is out on the back line. American Specialists might be able to make something happen. Arthas is tying up the Dahaka top lane. Out comes Starfall and Hyperion, by the way. But it's mostly just going to be zoning. This Genji and Tychus will ignore it, but they're still going to be on the camp. And again, they're split here, so they're trying to get in. They can collapse, things might look okay, but... Little surprised Muradin didn't dwarf toss there. Maybe he didn't have it, considering it was just Nubrak on the camp. But, better safe than sorry. They can just clean up this camp. Grenade out onto Hunter CJ. Looking to stall an initiation. They didn't kill all the sappers. There's still 2 more. Looks like they'll get him here. Genji, though, might just get cleaned up. Indeed, he does. There's the arrow into Hunter's Mark combo. Bread and butter of TNC's draft here. You learned from game 1. They got the combos, they got the heroes this time, they got the damage. Here's the healing static, the shurikens from the Genji, Shingen. They're just going, by the way, and there's another kill. White main down, dies even before that combo lands, by the way. Tychus getting silenced by the Valera, cleaned up hard. This fort, not the defense American Specialists thought it might be. Great posturing here from TNC, nets them additional kills, rushes them towards 16, cleans up the fort into a triple altar phase. This is going to be brutal for American Specialists in these next couple minutes. They're going to lose everything on the map. They'll probably lose boss, or maybe they'll just shove in middle. Tyrande up here alone, though, not necessarily the best, but she can stall. Muradin was down here alone, by the way. They just got to web him and walk away. Sad Muradin. Oh, Valera's here, though, maybe to screw with him. Oh, speaking of sad, Jinsu looking a little sad in middle. That was Army of the Dead burn, too, conversely, but they just surround him. Arthas has a lot of survivability, but if he can't move, it doesn't do him too much good. 16 here. Okay, here's Dragon Laser Drill. Valera just stalling. They are going to chase. Ooh, and they clean up the Valera, so they do get him. Genji with some nice deflects. Double stun here from Manubrak. Followed up by a third. There's the Starfall. So, American Specialists actually managed to get to the altar. 3 shots their way, but more importantly, putting 5 more on them would have dropped them to 9. And then with the boss follow-up would have dropped them to 5. So, good play there. That Valera kill actually meant a lot. It secured both their own shrine and prevented the boss cap, or boss attempt at least. So, big implications, also pushes them a little more towards 16. They'll clean up bottom altar here. A little surprised to see all 5 heroes, though, considering the XP deficit.
Red team has destroyed a fort.
Bit of an owl build from Tyrande here. A lot of pings coming out. Again, Dahaka can just come in this web. They are still down a talent here. Again, just a little surprised at these moves by American specialists. They're just giving up. Oh, Arthas, I didn't. What? Arthas was up here for some reason, running down. American specialists kind of falling apart here. Looked really good game one. Doing obviously much better than TNC did game one versus them comparatively, but making a lot of incorrect math movements, paying for it with pickoff after pickoff. 13 to 4 here, 17 to 15, almost 16. But this is very close to do or die mode for American Specialists. If TNC get both these altars, they'll be down just to 4 points. That's just the boss. Bottom was not able to be cleared. Considering they moved in there, then the Arthas died, etc. So they're trying to channel. But again, they're split up. Tychus is just clearing lane minions. And again, there's no Odin. 16's almost here, but not here yet. Maybe they can stall. There's another 5 points out. Dahaka will look to come over. TNC can afford to just stall here. But they are about to get 16 on American Specialist, and there it is. So some power spikes here, the Imposing Presence, Titan Grenade, of course, Morse's Winner being really nice spike for others. Stun out on to Genji, we'll stall it. Dahaka actually... Oh, he burrowed in. Okay, here we go. There goes the white main. Big combos out. Here's the Hyperion and the Starfall. Murden is silenced. Pops the Avatar. Don't think it'll help too much. He's just cleaned up. Genji trying to make some plays with the Dragon Blade. Will clean up the Tyrande. See what else he can get done here. He zips. Nearly clean up Metball. 15 health on the Rainer. 20. He's gonna live. It's crazy. Valera's dead though. 2 for 3. Tychus trying to clean up more. Arthas nearly chasing down the bug, but turns around trying to help his teammate. Not gonna happen. 2 for 4 trade. Crazier than I thought it would be. And that was with, I believe, Whitemane dying instantly, by the way. So if Whitemane actually lives there, she didn't get up Scarlet Aegis. Is she? Oh, Arthas, what are you doing, sir? You're in the wrong neighborhood. This is Goon Squad territory. Down goes the Arthas yet again. A few too many deaths, perhaps, on Mr. Freeze. Oh, this is game, conversely. Maybe that's why he was here. Because do or die mode, literally. But yeah, just imagine how different that fight goes if Whitemane lives and gets off even just that Scarlet Aegis. Even if she dies after it, I think if she gets off the initial, just this alone, I think they actually take that fight pretty convincingly. Because they nearly won it without her. But alas and alack, they did not. And we'll be going to a game 3, TNC. Clean up their act from game 1, take a pretty convincing game 2. Take a quick look at these results. Rainer with all the kills. And all the damages. Same healing. No deaths on Dahaka. M Avenger for the win. Alright. Quick break, and we will be back for game 2. Alrighty. Getting lobby set up. Alright. Can have a look at the maps. We get the rest of the players in here. As you can see, American Specialists opted for map pick in the Grab Dragonshire. Will be our Game 3 decider here in the Best of 3 series. Winner goes to semifinals. And if we look at the bracket again, do we know? Yeah, right. Okay, so Gravesville actually should have started the stream on FWC versus Lux. Make sure to multi-box that or open up another window if you're into watching dual streams. But of course, we will know the winner here before we know the winner there. But winner here faces either FWC or Luxuriant Sun, depending. And of course, we already see Chicken Nuggets waiting above in the semifinals. Look at Appeasement Park, by the way, who looked really strong. I saw some other games. Chicken Nuggets, though, coming in, cleaning them up, is what often happens in the playoffs. Nope, everyone's here. Go to the maps again real quick. Seems like the teams didn't necessarily join properly. Let me see. I believe we're all set now. Let's make sure really quick I have the scores correct. I do indeed. Players are joking around. Let's see if they're ready to see who goes on to the semifinals. Both teams are indeed ready. Let's get it on. Alright, if you happen to be joining us just now for this Game 3 in this Best of 3 series, it's TNC versus American Specialist Storm Playoff Week 1 here. Winner goes on to semifinals. American Specialist took a very convincing Game 1. TNC took a fairly or pretty convincing Game 2, I have to say. And we'll see who can come out on top here in Game 3 on Dragonshire. Wait, what? Player, okay. There's some lag going on one of the players. I think it's alright though. Yeah, he doesn't ban, should be fine. So American Specialist lost on Towers of Doom. They opted for map pick, so we'll be here in Dragonshire. Map isn't too snowbally. But of course, we see if you've watched any HDC teams like Tempo Storm look just insane on this map. We'll see if any of these teams here can replicate a similar performance or if they understand how to play the map that well. Of course, a lot of it's in the draft, and it's underway here with the Hammer ban as usual. See if a Kerrigan ban comes out here, which has been going on all evening. Maybe a Valera ban. So we see some respect coming out here. It was played really well, I believe, by Netball last game. Terrorized the rotations and just cleaned up a lot of these fights. Alright. But Eve ban, by the way, pretty interesting. Not wanting any shenanigans. I wonder if this means TNC is opting for some sort of single target blow up strategy, or they just feel Medivh's really good here with portals in general to run between the lanes, the points, over walls, whatever. So this does mean, currently anyway, that Diablo and Mephisto are in the pool. It was snatched up game 1, banned out both game 2. We'll see if either team goes for it here. Of course, TNC does have this first pick option. Yeah, I was about to say, it must be the Genji. Indeed it is. It looked really strong early for American Specialists. Like, I feel like they didn't really have a draft issue, per se. Game 2 and TOD, they just positioned themselves really poorly. They kept walking into pickoff after pickoff, not respecting the rotations, power, or the rotation pickoff power from TNC and this Valera and stuff. They'll pick up Diablo to Haka. But they just were really split up in all these fights. We saw them split up multiple times over their siege camp. We saw them split up over multiple times on the altar phases as well. And the draft from TNC just really preyed on that. Game 2, but let's focus on this draft. Garrosh, Tychus, Genji. Okay, this makes more sense. So I was taking a minute downtime in the break there to look at some of these stats, and the heroes TNC have been playing tonight are not in their most played, I think, other than the Rainer, and Garrosh is in their most played, so it's making up the show here. Genji I don't think is in anyone's most played because it's usually banned out, but any top team has a Genji player. It's basically a requirement. Here's the Tyrande ban, so we see a pretty big shift in strategy from both teams actually on the bans and the picks. TNC opened with Tyrande both games. Now they leave it completely. It does get third phase banned. It's pretty good with the Garrosh, so you get a toss back with, arrow into Hunter's Mark into a Tychus munching with that minigun. Gonna look nice. So they take it out here. There's of course other supports who can do fun things with Garrosh. Malfurion probably being number 1. Some teams even run Stukov, which I think is a little clunky but works. Deckard isn't the worst, isn't the best either. Specifically off like Garrosh throws. Maiev, Stukov, Diablo. Okay, so we have the Maiev Diablo, which are really good partners. Game 1 we talked about Mephisto being a pretty good partner with Diablo. Maiev's a different level of potential power. You get the tethers and the shadow charge ping pongs and the Warden's Cage and a Lightning Breath, and we do have, the Stukov silence can play a big factor here, really mess up the Garrosh, maybe, possibly mess up this Genji. You don't really have any great way to secure people into Stukov silence as it stands right now, so there's Deckard, which is what I assumed would be the support pick from TNC, and it is Malthael, so Malthael versus Dahaka, pretty good matchup for Malthael as far as I know. Should be able to largely bully the Dahaka off that top lane. Certainly off the point. Last pick here, they need range damage. So either a mage or an auto attacker. Lots of mages in the pool, lots of auto attackers. You have to go for probably the Jaina. You do, of course, right, you do want a mage with Maiev. Jaina's probably number 1 to combo off Warden's Cage, just drop Ring of Frost or Blizzard or whatever. We'll see if they go the Water Elemental to try and help deal with this Genji or Malthael or even Garrosh, like extra slow control. So I like this Jaina. I like the Mav, I like the Diablo. They don't have a favorable matchup with the Haka Malthael, but that's what you get for first picking your offlaner. Lets the enemy team counterpick it later. I like both these teams' drafts. I think there's a lot of potential. Both have some strong win conditions, strong fight power on both. The counterplay is probably quite a bit stronger though on TNC, considering Garrosh and Deckard. If they survive an initial engage from Diablo Maiev or avoid it altogether, they can win with some strong counter punches. Whether it's the Sleep or Lornado, of course Garrosh and Indomitable, Throw, Warlord's Challenge, etc. Whatever Tychus goes. So yeah, I gotta say this Tychus really severely underperformed last game on American Specialists. Really picked the wrong 4 and 10 talents, which is what the hero is all about. Oh, pause a minute. Not gonna harp on that too long though, but I would be extremely surprised if Metball 11 here didn't go what I would say is the proper Tychus build, especially with this Garrosh. Garrosh, into the bigger they are, eat quick munch. Genji can probably finish him off. Excuse me. Not sure what the pause is for. This is the deciding game to who goes to semifinals. Got some energy in chat for both American Specialist and TNC. Okay, so we have a... I believe this is the Genji. Oh no, what I'm saying, the Maiev or the Jaina? Maiev. Yeah. Alright. No talents picked yet. Here we're still loading in. Alright, looks like he's back. Brief lag spikes. I don't know. Okay. Alright, let's get it on. In the blue corner yet again, coming off a hot game on Towers of Doom. It's team name change. Hunter CJ will be on the Garrosh. Metball 11 will be on the Tychus. Satat on the Deckard Cain Nem Avenger on the Malthael. And Netball 11 will be on that Genji for American Specialist, looking to take revenge for game 2. It's My Mama's Cool on Diablo. Yikes harder on the Jaina. Chipmunkus on the Stukov. Any problem will be on the Maiev. And Jinsu 85 will be on the Dahaka. Reprising some roles from game 1 here. Diablo and Dahaka, respectively. I believe this initial skirmish favors TNC with the Garrosh. He's trying to grab the Dahaka there. Not going to work though. Nice seal here from Deckard. Diablo will make it toss. Indeed he does. Doesn't have the initial follow-up though. In fact, it might be Garrosh in some trouble, but the silence was a little off the mark. Tongue grab here from Jinsu is going to land on a creep. Lamp spam's decent. Little bit on top on the damages. A little bit more. Jaina and got 1,000 already towards her ice block. Frostbite, pretty nice. I do expect American Specialist to bully this rotation with the Maiev Diablo, and they already got Satat here. Big seal coming out though, may just save his life. And Tychus and Garrosh gonna zone out the Diablo. Ooh, he may just get stuck. He looks gonna shadow. No, okay. Thought he might shadow charge back, but down he goes. I feel like they should have just committed to the Deckard kill at that point, because backing off didn't seem to be an option. But they didn't commit and die anyway, instead of at least getting a trade kill. Feed Diablo some souls first, but a little bit of hesitation. Hesitation kill. Oh, crap. No, it isn't.
Activate the shrines, and the dragon's power is yours.
Shouldn't be muted. All my volumes are on. Maybe you're muted. Another play here under the Diablo, back into the Tychus. Genji trying to come in. Someone else can maybe check in chat for me if things are muted. Shouldn't be. made another play into the Diablo. Didn't work. Jinsu for the moment, zoned by the Malthael. Level 4s are here. That is... Oh my goodness, in the rhythm. Okay, maybe I'm just crazy and in the rhythm is somehow the new high. Hot's play here on Tychus. It used to be a really good old build. It just puzzles me in these particular matchups. It does give you more sustained power though in these fights. If you like, it's a less pressure to get an upfront kill off a Garrosh throw. So that is the upside to it. Wasn't really present last game because I didn't have a Garrosh. That adds, you know, a different factor. Fighting over the shrines here. Not really sure that Shadow Charge Overpower was exactly what my Mama's Cool was looking for. My head's in here though, getting some insane Q spam option. I just 1v4 them here. Oh my goodness, the absolute destruction of any problem. Holy moly. I think that was like 4,000 damage in, I don't know, 8 seconds. Genji here stalling the DK, gets another shuriken off, any problem trying to chase, keeps stalling, but Genji might pay for his life with it. Gets the tether, back into silence, indeed, he will get cleaned up. This does give them time for Deckard bottom. But they're ahead, 3-1 now. Tychus gets more stacks. Dukov will rotate in. Diablo actually is top, interestingly enough. Wait, Daka went bottom? Indeed he did. Looking for tongue grab. Will miss it off the mark. I think he tongued where he thought Tychus would be rather than where he was. That was interesting because he went straight, maybe assuming Tychus would dash forward. Okay. Daka's just made a play bottom, but he's going to go back to double soaking. Healthy, of course, on a pale horse will be able to easier double soak if that's the plays. Genji playing fire, or ice rather, middle. Diablo wants to get a hold of him. Genji is a little difficult to play into the Diablo. And the Maya, both pretty decent against them. Ripped Indomitable by Garrosh. That's going to be a potential issue in this upcoming fight. Not going to have that CC immunity. Level 7s here for both teams. Jaina, after, I mean, she had this at minute 1. She's barely done anything since then. Feels bad. Nice dodge here. Any problem against the Garrosh. Taka and Malthael are fighting it up top. Jinsu gets a nice tower grab into some tower shots. Not tower grab, a tongue grab, I meant to say. Interesting. Not really sure what the play is here by American Specialists because they kind of CD control a bottom. Taka had a brief window of opportunity top. Oh, they almost cleaned the Genji middle, way down to 85 HP. That was just with Jaina Diablo, so Maev was there. Definitely goes down. Down here, Dragon control for the blue team, but no, Maev already cleaning it up bottom. We do see TNC grabbing the first camp of the game here. Diablo will finish his souls. 5.5 minutes. See if there's any invade. They might think about it. They're going to need to go, and go right now if they do, but they don't really want to charge onto a Garrosh. He'll flip you right over this wall onto the fort. Well, it's going to matter in this fight. We see Genji rotating up. He understands how crucial this is. So does Jaina. We'll see if she can... Who will get more value here? I'm pretty sure the Jaina beats... Oh, no, misses the Blizzard. But here comes the Diablo. I don't think Nim Adventure's getting out of this one. Angel of Death gonna go down. Stumped by the Jaina. Control of DK for the moment towards TNC. And they were putting some pressure bottom of this Garrosh. Again, any problem being slippery as Maev should be. But level 10 here is imminent for American Specialists. Kind of crept up on me. Just looked. They're quite ahead here. 4-1. Jaina, though, middle, maybe caught alone. Speaking of caught, nope, didn't get anyone bottom. 10s are here, though. There's the Warden's Cage, Isolation, Massive Shove. And I think they're just deciding how they want to combo with Warden's Cage. They might go the APOC and the Ring, which I wouldn't mind. Give them pretty insane battlefield control. They go for the Lightning Breath, more standard, more flexible. Jaina, though, probably still wants Ring. There's not necessarily anything great against it. But we'll see. They've been dealing with this Genji so far as a long-range punt will miss. Jaina's in the DK, by the way, so less tower damage. Probably not the ideal target, but the only one necessarily available. A little surprised to see them pushing this hard middle, rather than maybe cleaning up the tower's bottom. 10's also imminent for American Specialist. They rip. I don't think Garrosh is getting out of this one, but we'll see. Maiev might not be getting out of this one. She went a little too far, and Malfio's coming in the back lines. May just look for an execute play here. Jaina is staying really... will the fort burn to the fire? No, it will not. Feels bad, man. Just going back in for another Q breath. Will get it, but now she's in the front lines. See if she can escape. Diablo will stop them. Garrosh looking for a taunt. Here comes a fat ring of frost. Will land. Down goes Malthael. Sleep is out. Maybe a little too late. Master Shift back onto the Garrosh. Genji trying to clean up the Dragon Blade. Will get the Jaina. Yes, he will. Finally, Garrosh showing a bit of trouble. Silence a little off the mark. Garrosh rip the Unstoppable. There's the Warden's Cage. Down goes Genji to the Maiev. Teensy getting cleaned up here. Garrosh will throw stun. Get a stack on his Warbreaker quest. Presumably, yes he does. Well, that's a 3 for 1. American Specialists will be quite happy with this as they quickly move into securing more XP. Taka moves top. They'll grab this Bruiser camp, then expect them to either rotate bottom for Bruiser or maybe their own Bruiser on their side of the map. Or maybe they'll just commit to top. Whew! This team's playing it fast, this team's playing it fierce. Okay, yeah, they're just going to do their own camp. This makes more sense. Put a lot of pressure top. Help with the Dahaka, so you can help in the Dahaka. He may have gone a little too far, but here's Big Bad Diablo. Will peel him off. Tongue grab onto the Malthael. Okay, here comes the Genji, he's fine. Diablo, though, maybe in a little trouble. Malthael does have the lost rights, by the way. Out it comes, he's blocked, he's healed, should be okay. No, there's the root, he gets cleaned up. The gate is down, nothing to block him. That's a full Soulborn by the Diablo. A little awkward there. They get the Bruiser camp out, but with no additional assistance, say if Stukov had shown up sooner, should have been able to prevent that gank. Diablo's back up, but at 0 souls. This is not really the stage of the game. You want to be hitting your momentum stride. Jaina also cut out here. She's sure to go down under a taunt. American Specialists making some really sloppy moves. Sleep at least will be wasted, but not the plays you want. Throwing away a lot of their tempo after pulling ahead a full level lead and taking out a fort. Dahaka now in trouble top. Looks like he will go down here yet again. Just chain feeding over and over from American Specialists. Maiev trying to make some plays. This is a 3v5 though. This seems a little crazy. American Specialists realize that Diablo though is going to be realizing it from the grave. Throw after throw after throw from American Specialists. They're going to need to put on the brakes at the fail train if they want to not just outright lose this game in terms of momentum. They still have a slight XP lead. They still 1 kill ahead. They could at least afford this considering they were ahead. Jaina is okay. Dahaka coming in. This looks pretty good. Silence is out. Here's a Ring of Frost from Jaina. Actually, Garrosh will be yanked out of it with a Dahaka tongue grab. DK is grabbed by Tychus. So they pick up a kill, but a lot of effort expended. They still have the Dragon's Breath. Excuse me, Lightning Breath in the Warden's Cage though. Tychus can't do too much with his DK, so it's more of a deny than anything. Are there different quality options? It depends on your browser. I forget which browser. Alright, DK moves bottom. Talking Malthael top. Dagger's doing a little bit better than Malthael than I somewhat anticipated. Basically, it's relying on these tongue grabs. He gets a good one. He can do a lot of damage to the Malthael in that time, considering the Primal Rage talent, especially as well. And he can pretty easily dodge execute. Diablo's still pretty weak. He wants to be up 50 plus. So TNC have evened up the EXP score here, 14 to 14. Kill score still not quite there though. But they'll be happy with this state of lanes. They're winning middle, they're winning bottom. Big throw here onto the Jaina. Warden's Cage though from the Maiev. Blizzard's a little off. They don't commit the ring. Now they do into the Lightning Breath. Tychus, can he fall? Indeed he does. Unstoppable from the Diablo will secure that. Garrosh in a lot of trouble here. Stunned in. Blizzard's actually off the mark. Big seal by Deckard, and here comes Genji cleaning up the Jaina in the background of the Dragon Blades, but will he pay for it with his life? He looks okay for now, but can they clean him up? They're on the chase. Garrosh still alive for now. Silence and the tether. He's not going to be able to get out of this one. Looks like Genji will though for now. So a 2-for-1 trade, but they might lose more. Spam here from Maiev. Triple daggers will not secure more. I don't... Oh, okay. I didn't actually realize I could set that as an option. I thought it was done automatically. I will have to look into it after this game. Sir, Thank you for making me aware of that. 15 to 15 here, 7 to 10 on the kills. 16 imminent for American Specialist, but not too far behind is TNC. Looks like they're going to go for this bottom push with the Bruiser camp. Jaina is almost 2/3 the way to our ice block. She's really going to need it because she's really playing forward, and she sort of has to with a Diablo Maiev, but at the same time, she seems not really be expecting this Garrosh, but she can dodge a lot of this aggro through the Garrosh or the Genji with this ice block completion. We get the numbing blast off her. That's really good versus the Genji. With the elongated tongue. Here's the Tychus Odin. I'm pretty sure that's the first one we've seen all game, at least that I recall. Malthael doing the Bruiser. Dahaka Siege's top. Cleans up the towers, that'll help. So Odin is down. He basically used it to stall that push, which is fair. If he doesn't use it, the push in, get a lot more damage, and maybe even just try and look for a pick or secure the fort. So this also stalls the push, buys him time for 16. So you could look at it and go, wow, I wasted Odin, but really it's like a value play. You're trading the cooldown for level 16 and stalling the push. Some really big power spikes here for TNC, and of course for American Specialist. 16s all around. We'll see who can make some plays. That was a nice dodge. Lightning Breath is out. Garrosh is up in front. They don't commit more CC. Oh, there's a big combo bomb. Yeah, but there's the silence though. Oh, he's stuck and rooted in the silence. Here's the Ring of Frost also out onto the Decker. Down goes Garrosh. Down goes Decker. Down goes Tychus. Oof. American Specialist cleaning up hard here in the bottom lane. Malthael not able to do anything. They do take top fort with that Bruiser push, but it's not really going to matter. Genji here silenced. Ooh, they can't get to him due to the fort slow. Giants here. This bottom fort's gone for sure. This will propel a lot them towards 20, almost 18. If they can manage to get the DK, they should look to push in bottom. Malthael though looking to stall top, but I don't think they can get. Genji will have to burn dash. That puts some really vulnerable positions, especially with Diablo coming in. He needs to watch out. Ooh, will disjoint. DK picked up here. Dahaka will clean up this top, which will threaten fort, keep, possibly even get the keep if left unattended. So makes sense. They'll have him clean that up, and of course he can burrow in globally. So I thought they might go for bottom, but it looks like they'll go middle. And they do have some pressure bottom already, so this... Okay, they just went middle for a moment. I thought they may maybe force middle and let this bottom shove in, then come bottom a little later. Root out here a little soon, perhaps. Both supports using some CC, trying to stall things. Jaina out here alone. Not sure this is where she wants to be. She really wants to kill this tower, though, but she might just get jumped here. She doesn't have her Frostbite completed. By the way, Jaina, sir... Lady, probably dead. Maybe? Okay, no, 2 split. Not gonna happen. Speaking of split, now it's Garrosh versus the world. That was a massive, no, it was a kick on the Deckard along with a massive shove. Is it Lightning Breath? The Ring of Frost will largely whiff though. Garrosh still running away. 40 armor, 35. Pretty much invincible. Here comes the Odin. So defense will be here. 20s still a full level away for American Specialist. They have about a half HP Dragon Knight. I'm not sure they can secure this fort anymore, considering how many ults they use. They still have Warden's Cage, but no real threats to follow it up. Genji coming in along with a big sleep. Stukov just going to go straight down here. Well played, and they may be able to clean up more. Jaina's also out of mana. American Specialist seems to have overextended. They punted the Dragon Bladed Genji. Diablo's dead, though, and American Specialist is going to pay the price here, probably losing 4. Maiev may be able to clean up, though. Oh, they're protected on the Genji. She at least trades a kill. But that is a 4 for 1. Heavy, heavy price paid by American Specialist. Getting split up, overstaying their welcome, no mana on your mage. Stukov was in the front lines. I think he was actually ahead of the Diablo, so some of that old sloppiness in game 2 coming back to haunt them here, and buys a huge window for TNC back into this game. Things are looking grim. They were definitely losing that race to 20, but now with these long death timers, especially since Diablo is overstaying his welcome, they get a pick here. He's just dead. Bye-bye Diablo, by the way. No respect. 60 seconds, no Diablo. Huge mistake by Mr. Dibbles there. Just not respecting... that was strange. I feel like he should have seen them on vision. They were right here. And he's just casually clearing minions out in front of the fort. Has to expect he will be jumped. Juicy target. This is, you know, this is do or die time. At least they still have a fort bottom lane, but this isn't going to mean too much this stage of the game, 20 coming in, especially with a double camp. Some creep waves.
The shrines are
So TNC painted the map mostly blue. parring the top siege, excuse me, top bruiser. 20s are here for everyone. Let's look at some talents. The isolation, deep chill, push comes to shove. The rest still deciding. No one can stop death, so we have the res, Titanic Might, the upgraded Odin, Spec the Elderly, Dragon Becomes Me, so some really big power spikes all around. Shadow Orb Huntress, I wouldn't expect Diablo to go Hellstorm. He should probably go
Free the Dragon Knight and slaughter
the
your
Lifesteal or the
enemies.
Blink.
Blue team has destroyed a fort.
Bottom fort down. 20s all around. 12 to 14. This might just be an outright DK though for for TNC. Excuse me. Looks like it is. No one there in time to stall. Domino effect of giving away so many kills. Jaina also maybe a little too far out. Not backing off. She might just get run out here. Diablo though kind of scouts it out. Looking at Diablo, he is only at 17 souls. He's basically paper right now. Not where you want to be at the level 20 push and coming on your base, and they don't have this sort of Odin defense that we've seen out of TNC to stall these pushes. Jaina and Maiev are, you know, great against clustered enemies. Not the best single target DPS. Daka's just deep pushing top. Trying to buy more time. There was a bruiser camp. Still cleaning it up. This Frostbite's still not done for Jaina, by the way. She's been a little too careless in some of her positioning, whiffing some of her spells, and not here, despite it being 19 minutes into the game almost. This keep is sure to fall. Diablo's going in on the Decker, just ripping the Lightning Breath. I feel like this is just an automatic death on the Diablo. There's a interesting play by Massive Shove back, and there's a fast silence. That was an isolation splash, and Maev's cleaning up. Hunter CJ might just go down here as well. There's a big taunt. Okay for now. Still alive. Maiev might be cleaned up by the Dragon Knight. It's been cleaned up. Stukov probably going to die to this punt. Indeed he does. Jaina fighting through the backlines finally has her ice block. It looks like Garrosh will go down. Jaina though sure to die here in just a moment. 2 for 2. Genji trying to clean up. See if he can get this to Haka. Will burrow for the moment. Out comes the CC. Not sure he can live. Gets a nice tongue grab here. Diablo not quite in position to follow up. So it is a 2 for 2. They lose the keep, but they do hold. He might be able to grab more here. Gnome Avenger will use the Unstoppable, and that should have been his 13 inevitable end. Pretty solid defense considering how insane that fight was. We saw the punt on the Stukov to the backlines. He massive shoved. I wasn't actually clear which hero all the way under the keep, but the keep had just died to the Dragon Knight, so it wasn't quite. It was an awesome play, but Jaina was in the front lines at one point. There was a lot of... I feel like that fight could have gone a lot worse for American Specialists, and Diablo gets a lot of souls off that. 14-16, so they maintain the kill lead, but they are down that keep. I believe Tychus was in the Dragon Knight, unless I'm crazy. So yeah, Odin wasn't even used there. Typically you'd want to Odin along with the DK. I'm pretty sure he was in the Dragon Knight, unless I'm just misremembering. Jaina at least has her Frostbite. Numbing Blast, they can catch the Genji with this Numbing Blast. Dahaka, though, might be walking into a trap. It's a trap. He thinks he gets it now, and they actually just toss up Gnome Avenger. This Dahaka's a dead man, so if he can buy any time, maybe get an isolation out. He did use it, but I didn't see it land. I think I missed. Yeah, must have missed, because he cooldown, but I didn't see anybody silenced. I feel like if the isolation lands, the contagion splash, they actually might have picked a fight, because it's probably a 4 to 5 man silence. Speaking of picking a fight, they're just going for this, because Malthael's not here. But here's the Odin with that big red button into sleep. Ring of Frost will land on Deckard, but Jaina is just way off to the side, silenced by that sleep. Here comes Warden's Cage, and the Lightning Breath with Diablo's trying to clean up the Genji. It's not going to work, though. Feels like the wrong call. Not comboing with your Maiev in the Warden's Cage. Big massive shove here onto Garrosh will buy them a little time. Maiev goes down though. American Specialists though seem to have just lost the game. Another big massive shove, but Stukov goes down. Last man standing. Big red button cleans up. TNC looks like Diablo quick res. Doc will be up. There's no way they can stop this though. 2 versus 5, and no Soul Diablo, no two heroes could stop a full 5-man push, let alone a DK coming in at 22.5 minutes. American Specialists, I feel like they had this game almost in the bag, but they just threw way too many deaths away, threw away way too much of their tempo in this 13 to 16 level range. Let TNC back in this game repeatedly, and they pay the price. Feels bad, man, for American Specialist fans. Feels good for the TNC boys. However, as they will take the win, secure themselves a spot in the semifinals. The series versus FWC versus Luxurian Sun should still be going on Gravesville's channel. Whew. So we don't know who's facing, who TNC will be facing yet. All the kills in this Genji. Definitely well played by Netball11.
Hey, Ripper.
Give me just a moment. I wasn't quite yet ready for an interview, but
Oh, sorry. I just saw you in here. I hopped in.
yeah, I do want to do an interview though. So,
Okay.
but you, I don't know if just you want to be in here, or any other teammates, or
Let me see.
anyone's welcome to hop in who they want to.
I'll go find out real quick when you're setting up.
Yeah, sure. Thanks. Okay. Thank you for the follow, MJ Doom. And we had a few other follows in the meantime. Liam Hotz and First Andy. Thank you much for the follows, gents. Just waiting on some TNC players. Looks like they're on the way.
Yep. So Todd and Hunter will be joining in.
Very nice. Support and who?
Tank.
Tank.
So Hunter, yeah.
Oh, Hunter. I didn't hear you.
It's all good.
I heard Hana or something. I'm like, what?
Surprise!
I was like, why is she coming in here? Seems a little odd. There we go. Welcome, Metball Hunter and Satat of Team Name Change, fresh off your 2-1 victory over American Specialist. How you feeling, gents?
I feel pretty good. The games were a little rough, but I thought that especially game 2, but also game 3, we played our game well.
Yeah, I think the first game we kind of just messed up in terms of I mean, we really were hesitant, and I guess like our synergy and heroes weren't really there. And then the second and third game we kind of picked it up.
Yeah, I thought game 1 you were just screwing around because, why not? But no, you could see I thought the draft was a little difficult to execute, but it seems like you never really got around to executing it. Game 2, you picked some of the same heroes, but looks really clean with this Tyrande, Nubrak, Chain Stun, Hunter's Mark, Genji Blow Up. Of course, we didn't have Genji game 1, but I was like, oh, okay, here we go. This is the TNC I thought I'd at least attempt to see game 1. Didn't happen, but, we just called it a warm-up game, right? Funny teams are warm-up teams. Game 1 looks weird, and you're like, wait a minute, aren't these guys way better? Then game 2 comes along, and they're like, oh, yeah. Here we go.
Yeah.
Here they are. Game 3. Let's talk about game 3 a little bit. Of course, deciding factor. Game 1 being Infernal Shrines. Game 2 Towers of Doom. So then we're at the 1-1. We're at game 3. It's the match point. Things are looking pretty good for them, right? They're up a lot of kills. They're up a lot of levels. Then they just start sort of chain feeding you over and over and over and over for no particular reason that I could tell, but mark of a good team is also being able to capitalize on your enemy's mistakes, is what I always say, because you never want to discredit, like, oh, they're just feeding, but it's like, you guys are also looking for these picks, especially on that Diablo middle. You come in and clean him up while he's trying to farm souls, dead for 60 seconds. Like, I feel like that pick right there, kind of, you were obviously already in a really strong position, but the fact that you killed them him right there for a full minute, I think he basically won the game right there. Is what I felt like.
Yeah, that helped us get like all their camps on the basically the whole bottom side control. I think that pretty much snowballed everything, I guess, from there because once we had that bot pressure, we were able just to rotate around and play our game, so to speak.
Yeah, it was a pretty insane fight over that keep. I was surprised more people didn't die. I think it was only 2 for 2 or something, maybe 3 for 3. But Dragon Knight was punting Stukov on the back lines, and he massive shoved someone under the keep, and people are ping
Yeah.
ponging around, and Tyrande and Diablo and Garrosh. It was great. Genji in there with the Dragon Blade.
Yeah, we called for Met Ball to use Odin there, and he didn't Odin,
Oh
and I think
wait, was he
that
in the Dragon
really
Knight
was.
or was somebody else?
No,
No, that was Genji in the
netball.
Dragon
Oh, see,
Knight.
I thought yeah, because after that I saw Odin wasn't used. I'm like, wait, was he in the Dragon Knight? Because I would have
It
expected
was a
Odin.
strategical planning. I promise you that. I know, testing
Okay.
my enemy strength. Mental game.
Oh God.
It screwed with me because I assumed Odin would have been used. So I was like, wait a
See,
minute, was he in
Oh
the
exactly.
yeah,
DK?
It was the mental game.
Yeah,
yeah. There's
it
something
worked on the
mental
caster
about
too.
it.
Yeah. No, but you guys clearly had a fun night. Making it through here. The playoffs, you've already had a good season, coming in here at second seed in the playoffs. Of course, now you move on to the semifinals. FWC versus Luxurian Sun is supposed to be going on right now. I don't think it's done yet, unless somehow
No.
someone just like super cleaned up 2 games. Trying to look at Gravesil's channel.
That'll be a good match.
Okay. They're just on game 2. FWC took game 1. So at the moment, by the numbers, you might be facing FWC. But
Yeah,
Okay.
I think we're honest. We're assuming that we're going to be playing them, and I think it's going to be one of our harder matches. To be honest with you, I thought American Specialists were one of actually the stronger people coming out of like what was the wild card tournament, and just
right.
in general, I thought they were a really good team because a lot of their players are mechanically really good.
Yeah,
So
they
Yeah.
played like they did some really sick plays tonight, honestly. Like
Yeah, they played well.
especially game 1, that was just like clinical. Like it was just surgical practically. There was
yeah,
pretty
Yeah.
much like no mistakes throughout the whole game from them. Pretty nice. Of course, again, you had this weird draft, but like ignoring that, you know, yeah, they played super clean, which is odd because the inverse happens. And I always say this, like, if you're gonna choose a time to start screwing up, do it earlier in the series or at the start of the game rather than at the end because the price you pay for screwing up is much higher. So
hmm
we sort of had an inverse series, but no, I agree. They came through the wild card looking pretty good. They came in here looking pretty good. You guys are an awesome team, obviously. So I think they can be pretty happy with their performance overall. Probably feeling a little bad about Game 3, losing control of it
Uh,
so much. But other than that, like, you know, they had a really
I
strong
also
season.
Yeah, I also think with our draft game 3, it was slightly mistakes on their part and us capitalizing, but we also had a really strong draft for late game. Like I think Matteo gets even stronger as the game goes on, and they
Outfield
had so
Tychus scale
much.
pretty hard, yeah.
Yeah, and they had so much melee frontline for Matteo to just eat that once he really got into the fights, Nem did a lot of work.
Absolutely. Easier Garrosh taunts, easier Deckard CC, kind of the whole works.
Yeah.
For sure, yeah, and I noted that they kept pushing, but you kept just using Odin to stall, which I really liked. I think that was good use. And so they didn't quite get as much as they wanted. Gave you more breathing room in the game. That was nice to see also. And on the reverse, they didn't have this great Dragon Knight defense, though. Again, the bottom defense went a lot better than I thought it would for them. But
Oh
just
yeah.
being mostly melee, right?
yeah.
Not having like a great counter siege.
Yeah.
Let me see. I am casting more Storm Div. I'm also casting the Grand Finals. So we have next week, then a week break, then the Grand Finals. So, be seeing you boys in the Grand Finals, or what? What's the game plan?
I think do you want my prediction of the standings? Is
Yeah,
this
yeah,
a
yeah.
little
Let's hear
BM?
it. Let's hear it. It's fun.
All right, Hunter and Satai, I don't know what you guys think, but I think we're going to be seeing TMG in the finals. I think FWC, they're, going to be a hard match, but I think we're going to see TMG in the finals. I'm pretty confident in it. We also played them in
Yeah.
Heroes Hype.
Right.
Yeah, we did play him. That was
And we
hopefully
40'd
that's
him.
yeah. Hopefully that's a indication of what's to come because we 40-0'd him on towers that game.
Wow, intense. Yeah, Trademark is the number one seed. I actually have that Saturday game, so that'll be fun.
Oh, that'll be
Um, yeah, trying to, just steal all the good matches.
good.
No, it'll be cool. Chicken nuggets, though, I have to say, surprised me. Not that I think they're bad, but I thought Amusement Park was maybe a titch better. But they
Yeah.
got dominated earlier in the week. They got cleaned up. So
Wow,
it's
that's
chicken.
surprising.
Yeah, so it's chicken nuggets versus whoever wins. Trademark versus DGL. What is it? Wheelchair Gaming or whatever they call themselves.
Oh,
They just call
DG
themselves
Gaming.
DG, yeah.
Yeah, or DG. Yeah, this
Yeah.
is disabled gaming.
I
Yeah.
do expect I'd be like shocked if Trademark lost that series, not because DG's bad, but just because Trademark's really friggin' good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Yeah, they're
it would
pretty
be an
good.
upset in any case. I would expect them to also win over Chicken Nuggets. So I do expect Trademark Gaming in the grand finals for sure. And it sounds like you guys are planning on cleaning up FWC as well in these semis, assuming they win. Looking at the stream, I pretty.
It looks like they control
It
the game
looks like they're going
somehow.
to be 2-0ing Lux Sun. It would be really
That would
surprising
be good.
if they didn't at the moment. Not to spoil anything, but yeah. Yeah, I don't know. There's some counter kills going on here. Game's never over till it's over, but they're down a keep. They're about to be down Storm, Talents. But you never know. Game's not over till it's over. So interesting some like meta stuff here between these teams. Your teams tonight. We saw a lot of focus on Diablo. We saw a lot of focus on Dahaka, for example. Obviously, everyone bans Genji. That's like just a given. Um, I was trying to do some pregame stat stuff, but I ran out of time. I was looking at your guys' top played, and then you started picking all this stuff that isn't in your top played at all, like this Tyrande and an Ubrak, and I don't know what else necessarily. Did you just kind of save strats or practice new strats for the playoffs, or you just didn't necessarily, not without giving too much away, just sort of quick comments on that?
Yeah. So I'll speak on this, and I'll let like Satana Hunter speak on more and how they feel about the tank and support. But right now we're in this situation, at least when the players are starting, when the whole meta is shifting. Like I think the meta is completely different, and that's going to start changing towards a certain meta very soon. So we've been practicing more or less towards that meta, and that means generally a lot of different heroes that are coming in that we're playing. A
Right.
lot of the heroes we played today are I don't want to say too much, but a lot of them are pretty good in this meta, and I think we didn't even go to the full extent of what's really really good. So
For
in
sure.
terms of,
Yeah,
but that's
you're
how I feel
poking,
about
playing around the edges for sure. Yeah, no, absolutely. No, things are a changing.
Yeah.
Some things seem to never change though, which is how seemingly strong Diablo is in general. Um,
Yeah.
like Diablo Mephisto just seems so obnoxious. And we saw you ban both of them in round two. Of course,
It
round
wasn't
three
fun.
they respect banned your Valera. So I was like, this is cool. Some back and forth respect bans going on here in the series. But no, metas are shifting. Of course, things trickle down from HGC, changes in
Mhm.
general. Um, yeah, I'm looking forward to a new map pool. I'd like Alterac Valley to be a thing, of course, maybe with some modifications and maybe even new Garden of Terror or something. I don't know. I just like variety myself. What would you like to see like next season, whether it's NGS or if you're participating in other leagues or whatever? Do you have any sort of maps you'd like to see, whether it's like a Hanamura or a Blackheart's Baby Work or something like what's on your, if any?
uh, in the current state, I don't like Garden of Terror too much. I've played it a few times, and it feels like it's just the objectives just too strong. It's like Tomb of the Spider Queen objectives that also disable all the buildings. So I'm
So
not looking forward to that. Hopefully that's not going to be in,
who
but I
gave them
do like
Sylvanas passive?
yeah, it's ridiculous. But like Ultrag is fun, and I think with some tuning, Hanamura is also a fun map. They probably need to beef up the objective, but yeah, I feel like those two maps are good. Uh, I definitely am not looking forward to Garden though. I think they need some tweaks.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. Hanamura and Alterac Valley are really fun to watch, in my opinion. The maps are just really colorful. There's a lot going on. There's just some more unique features compared to the other maps in the pool. So I'm a big fan just from that angle. I think it's more entertaining it's for me as a caster, and I think for the viewers. So maybe we'll see. But of course, most, I believe, all the leagues follow HTC rules, so we'll have to wait for it to change there first. But yeah, hopefully so.
Mhm.
Hopefully so. Well, thank you very much, gents, for your time. Obviously, thank you for putting on a great show tonight, taking the 2-1 victory. You will be facing FWC. Looks like that series finished, so spoiler alert. Should have said that first. Um, I don't know if there's someone out there who like doesn't want any spoilers, wants to go back and watch the VODs or something. But as far as the bracket goes, it will be you guys. So you just have to schedule that game, and that'll be next week, just any time in the Monday to Saturday range. So I'm sure we'll be seeing you soon enough for the semifinals. Any shoutouts you want to drop before I let you go?
I think Satat should do shoutouts. Huh?
Okay.
Okay, so people on shout out our coach, Decade. He's been doing a lot of work for us. He put us through boot camp yesterday, which was a lot of fun. So very big thanks to him. A couple other people have been helping behind the scenes. Camille's been helping us quite a bit, just giving us some different info and running some heroes against us and with us so we can try out some comps. The whole team in general, a lot of improving has happened over the last couple days, even last week. So just a shout out to the whole team. Netball, them, Met, Hunter, everybody's been great. So it's been awesome. And shout out to the casters. Thank you guys so much for this casting. It's great to be able to rewatch our games with commentary and to just hear it and see how great it was. And I'm very thankful for that. So those are my shout outs.
Yeah, there's some insane fights. You definitely want to watch those. All right. Thank you very much, guys. Good luck in the semifinals. Could be me, could be another caster, but we'll see you soon enough. So good luck, have fun out there, and enjoy your night.
Thank you. You too.
Thank you.
Thank you. Take care.
Thanks.
Alrighty. That was support player, tank player, and who is it? Maybe assassin player. I'm actually okay. Now what does Metball do? Yeah, Metball's assassin. So I was correct. For team name change, they'll be moving on to semifinals versus FWC. The bracket isn't updated yet, but we'll take a peek at it here nonetheless. But it will be TNC versus FWC, in this next week, October 7th through 13th. Look for that. And of course, after upcoming games, Saturday will be Trademark Gaming versus DG, I think, Wheelchair. So look for that on this Saturday, 7 PST. I'm casting that with, I think, Ghostunk as co-caster, if I'm not mistaken. I can double check that really quick. If I could click on the right link. Yeah. So that'll be Ghostunk co-casting that with me this Saturday. So tune in for that. Thank you, everyone, for watching, for cheering on your favorite teams. GG's to both teams, putting on a great show. Sorry to the American Specialist fans, but guys put up a good fight. TNC take it, though. They'll be moving forward. And we'll bring you more Storm action tomorrow and, of course, more next week. So tune in for that on my channel and, just my channel this week. And, of course, next week, Gravesville or maybe someone else will be doing some more. So good luck, have fun out there. Thanks for watching. Have a good one.